Well, the taxi strike. How are you guys feeling? Let's get your thoughts. Let's start with Nathan.
Okay, I'm gonna start with there was apparently two fatalities today. One passenger or one motorist was driving. He had passengers, and they stoned the vehicle and apparently shot the driver. The passengers got out and ran. The driver died. And then on another occasion, there was a driver, and then there were assailants throwing stones and stuff at his vehicle, and he shot out of his vehicle, injured three people, and killed one. So it's now past the point of ridiculous. And to be honest, that the taxis act like an organized gang. It's like the mafia. So I mean, what do you do?
Guys, first of all, rest in peace to the people that passed away today. And sorry
Yeah.
for all the damage and loss to some of the, how can I say, the people that don't deserve it, that just wanted to get to work, to school today, that was violently attacked by mob. That is really mob mentality. It's a very sad day in South Africa, specifically in Cape Town today with this taxi strike, and it was really, really not on. There was people fearing for their lives, not knowing if they're going to go home. People that just wanted to go deliver some bread to the community and feed the people. And you guys were terrorizing them and took the bread and drove and hijacked. And it was just very, very sad to see. Yes, it was started by the taxi industry, but I don't think it was only them because they can't do all that havoc. It's people that's
Yeah.
joining in on this and finding a joyride with it, and it's not
Yeah.
funny at all. It was really,
Yeah,
really sad. Because their family members take commutes and take private transport or anything. And yeah, it was not nice to see.
yeah. And you, Keenan, how
Um,
did it make you feel?
just from my perspective, I obviously went to go do a bit of research. I mean, you always want to know what you're talking about before you just, go out there and attack certain people or certain groups. Um, so yeah, I'm still speaking under correction, but the crux of the taxi strike is basically, they wanting to not have their vehicles impounded. Um, it's
Yes.
obviously the traffic laws in South Africa is very strict. I mean, we know you have to go renew your license. I think every year or every 2 year, your car license,
Every year,
Every
all of that
you
sort
call
of
license.
stuff. So my standpoint is, like Nathan said, you can't be a law unto yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just say whatever rules apply to you, it's only to you. You know what I mean? And the taxis abide by their own laws on the road in terms of intimidation. When Uber first started in South Africa, they were intimidating Uber drivers like violently.
yeah,
So, besides that, I think this whole, taxi strike with regards to not wanting to abide by traffic laws is ridiculous. If I, as a citizen, have to go renew my license, have to go abide by certain rules on the road, um, then you have to do so. I went to the traffic department a couple of weeks back and I paid for a crazy fine. I did actually have it reduced, but they were just making like connections in the court with regards to reducing their fines, not paying fines. There's been some crazy stories that I heard in the courthouse that day of a guy that got his taxi impounded because he didn't have a license to carry passengers. And I'm like,
it's a PDP.
Yeah,
yeah,
a lot of them are driving like that and putting a lot of passengers' lives at risk. And there's some videos that I
exactly.
see where they driving crazy and this ladies is praying in the taxi and they're not
Mm,
stopping. They intimidate the ladies in the taxi. Remember, a taxi driver
so
is very scary, even if he's
the
thin. He's a taxi
the
driver.
funny the funny the funny thing about that PDP thing is, you know how easy it is to get a PDP. The only requirement, so I had one before. The only requirement is you need a valid driver's license and you need to not have a criminal record. So if they don't
Sure.
have
And
that,
you need to
that
go to the
means
doctor,
they either have a
medical.
criminal record or yeah, or they don't have a valid driver's license and they're carrying passengers.
That's crazy. But one of the things that they were demanding, besides a different rate as well, is being able to drive in the yellow line of the road.
They do it anyway. They do it anyway.
You know what I'm saying?
And they get
Like
away with it, eh?
it's crazy to me. So now you are holding the city hostage because you want to have certain rules that just apply to you. And I mean, beyond that, that's silly with regards to it. But in terms of the violence and all of those sort of things, it's unnecessary. Whatever demands the taxi industry wants, they can easily get by just not operating. Because you know that the majority of Cape Town, the majority of the country, rely on taxis. The railway is in its mooring. The buses are sometimes too expensive. So if all they have to do is not show up, and that could be their strike, and it will have major implications for the economy. But also to Dylan's point, I don't think that the violence and all of those things are solely just by the taxi guys. I think there are certain elements or people that are jumping on the bandwagon to
Mm.
loot and to cause havoc. I saw a lot of videos on social media where it's just kids throwing stones and stuff like that. You know, it's a wild time at the moment.